In this lesson, we are going to talk about order of operations with numbers, in this case with decimals. Just to recall, you learned about pet mass or bed mass. Now, when you are dealing with expressions, you always start from left to right. Now, when going from left to right, when you see parentheses or brackets, you do the operation inside the bracket first. When you are done with all the brackets, you are going to again go from left to right and to see if there is any exponents involved. Remember, an exponent is something like, let's say, 2 exponent 3. When you are done with the exponents, again you start from left to right. If you see division or multiplication, it doesn't matter. You can do either division first and then multiplication, or multiplication first, then division. When those are done, meaning division and multiplication is done, then you are going to start from left to right again, and you will see if there is any addition or subtraction. Again, addition and subtraction, order doesn't matter. You can do addition first, then subtraction, or subtraction, then addition. So remember, the priorities are first brackets, next exponents, after that is division and multiplication, and then addition and subtraction. As the first example, we are going to simplify the expression 6 times, open bracket, 15.9 plus 36.4, close bracket, divided by 4. We are going to scan from left to right. We will see a bracket which is here. So we have to do this bracket inside the bracket first. So we have to add 15.9 plus 36.4. Now 9 plus 4 is going to give us 3 with 1 carried over. 1 plus 5 is 6 plus 6 is 12. So 1, 2 here and 1 carried over. 1 plus 1 is 2 plus 3 is 5. So the sum becomes 52.3. So this expression becomes 6 times 52.3 divided by 4. Now again we are going to start scanning from left to right. We see the operation multiplication and division. Since I told you before that the order doesn't matter if I do the multiplication first and then division, or division first then multiplication, I will do the multiplication first. So I'm going to have 52.3 times 6. Now 6 times 3 is 18, so it's 8 here, 1 carried over. 6 times 2 is 12 plus 1 is 13. 3, 1 carried over. 6 times 5 is 30 plus 1 is 31. So now my expression becomes 313.8 divided by 4. The last operation I have to do is division. So I'm going to do a long division, 313.8 divided by 4. I put the decimal here. Now I'm going to say 31 divided by 4 gives me 7. 7 times 4 is 28. 31 minus 28 is 3. Now I bring this 3 down. 33 divided by 4 is going to give me 8. So 8 times 4 is 32. 33 minus 32 gives me 1. Now I bring 8 down. 18 divided by 4 gives me 4. 4 times 4 is 16. The remainder is 2. Now, I don't have any digits to the right of 8, but remember from previous lessons, I can add as many zeros as I want after the decimal point. So I will add 1 0 and I bring it down, so it becomes 20. 20 divided by 4 gives me 5. 5 times 4 is 20, and the remainder is 0. So this means this expression here is going to be simplified to 78.45, and that's the final answer. In the next example, we are supposed to simplify the expression 12.4 minus open bracket 4.7 plus 1 close bracket plus 2.4 times 3 minus 4.8 divided by 2. Again, we are going to scan from left to right. So when we go from left to right, the first thing we see is this bracket. So I have to do the interior of the bracket first, which is 4.7 plus 1. So I'm going to say 4.7 plus 1, but 1 I can write as 1.0. So it's going to be 7 plus 0 is 7, and then 4 plus 1 is 5. So this bracket becomes 5.7. So I have to evaluate 12.4 minus 5.7 plus 2.4 times 3 minus 4.8 divided by 2. Again, scan from left to right. And the first thing I see that I have to do is multiplication. So I have to multiply 2.4 by 3. So I'm going to do the multiplication on the side. 2.4 times 3. 3 times 4 is 12. 1 carried over. 3 times 2 is 6. Plus 1 is 7. So the answer becomes 7.2. So the expression becomes 12.4 minus 5.7 plus 7.2 minus 4.8 divided by 2. Again, scan from left to right. I will see the first operation that has to be done is the division. So I'm going to do the division of 4.8 by 2. Again, I put the decimal right on top. I'm going to say 4 divided by 2 gives me 2. 2 times 2 is 4. 4 minus 4 is 0. Then I bring 8 down. 8 divided by 2 gives me 4. 4 times 2 is 8. 8 minus 8 is 0. So the answer is 2.4. Now the expression becomes 12.4 minus 5.7 plus 7.2 minus 2.4. Now scan from left to right. The only thing I see is subtraction and addition. I can do any one of them since the order is not important. So I'm going to start with 12.4 minus 5.7. So 12.4 minus 5.7. We know that I cannot subtract 7 from 4, so I borrow 1 from 2, and this becomes 14. 14 minus 7 is 7. Then 1, I cannot subtract 5 from it, so I borrow 1 from the left column. This becomes 0. This becomes 11. 11 minus 5 is 6. So this becomes 6.7 minus 5.7 plus 7.2 minus 2.4. Again, scan from left to right. I will do addition first. So I'm going to say 6.7 plus 7.2. 7 plus 2 is 9, and then 6 plus 7 is 13. So I'm going to get 13.9 minus 2.4. There is only one operation left, which is subtraction, so I subtract 2.4 from 13.9. 9 minus 4 is 5. 3 minus 2 is 1, and 1 comes down. So the answer is 11.5. The next example is to evaluate 3.2 plus 5.6 times 7.2 divided by 2.4 minus 9.3. Again, we are going to scan from left to right. The first operation that we have to do, because there is no bracket here, we are going to do multiplication first. So we are going to say 5.6 times 7.2. Remember, when you are doing multiplication, you drop all the decimals and you do the normal multiplication. So we say 56 times 72. 2 times 6 is 12, 1 is carried over. 2 times 5 is 10, and plus 1 is 112. Now we say 7 times 6 is 42, so 2 goes here. We shift 1 left. So 4 is carried over. Now 7 times 5 is 35, plus 4 is 39. Now we add them, so 2, 1 plus 2 is 3, 1 plus 9 is 10, 0 and 1 carried over, so 1 plus 3 is 4. Now since 5.6 and 7.2, they have one digit after decimal, when we finish with the multiplication, we are going to have the decimal points move to the left 2 digits. So the answer is 40.32. Now our expression becomes 3.2 plus 40.32 divided by 2.4 minus 9.3. Now again, we scan from left to right. We see that the division has to be done first, so I'm going to divide 40.32 divided by 2.4. If you recall from previous lessons, when you are dividing by a decimal number, you are going to move the decimal to the right until the decimal is after the number. So I'm going to move the decimal 1 point to the right, and because I moved it 1 point to the right, I'm going to move this one 1 point to the right. So this becomes really 403.2 divided by 24. So to do that one, I'm going to say 40 divided by 24. I'm going to get 1. So it's going to be 24. Since I cannot subtract 4 from 0, I borrow 1 from 4. For 4 becomes 3, and this becomes 10. 10 minus 4 is 6. 3 minus 2 is 1, so it's 16. Now I move 3 down. It becomes 163. 163 divided by 24, I'm going to get 6. 6 times 24 is going to give me 144. Now, if I subtract 144 from 163, I'm going to get 19. Now I bring 2 down. So I get 192. 192 divided by 24 is going to give me 8 down. But remember the decimal point is here. So I'm going to have the decimal point right here, and then 8 is going to be here. 8 times 24 is going to give me 192. 192 minus 192 is going to give me 0. So the expression now becomes 3.2 plus 16.8 minus 9.3. Now again, if I scan from left to right, I can see only I am dealing with addition and subtraction, so I can do any one of them first. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to do the addition first. So I'm going to say 3.2 plus 16.8. Because the decimals, they have to be aligned, so the decimal is here, so I'm going to write 16.8. Now 8 plus 2 is 10, 0. 1 carried over. 1 plus 3 is 4, plus 6 is 10. So 0, 1 carried over, so it's going to be 20. So I'm going to be left with 20.0 minus 9.3. Now, I do the subtraction on the side, so 20.0 minus 9.3. Again, I cannot subtract 3 from 0, so I'm going to go to the left to borrow 1. Again, I am dealing with 0. I can't do anything, so I borrow 1 from 2 here. So this becomes 1, this becomes 10. Again, I cannot subtract 3 from 0, so I borrow 1 from this. So this becomes 9. And this 0 becomes 10. 10 minus 3 is 7. Decimal point. 9 minus 9 is 0. And then I had 1 here, so 1 down. So this means this expression is going to be simplified to 10.7. In the next example, we have the case of a cross-country team members. They ran timed circuits, and these are the times given here: 15.8, 12.5, 18, 14.2, 13.9, 16, 16.2, 17.5, 16.3, and 15.6. We are supposed to find the mean time. The mean, or the average, is the sum of all the times divided by the total number. We have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So we have to add all the numbers, then divide it by 10. So let's start adding the numbers. The first two numbers we are going to add is 15.8 plus 12.5. Now 8 plus 5 is 13, 1 carried over. 1 plus 5 is 6, plus 2 is 8. 1 plus 1 is 2. So 28.3. Now 28.3 has to be added to 18. So we say 28.3 plus 18. So 3 plus 0 is 3. 8 plus 8 is 16. And then 1 carried over. 1 plus 2 is 3, plus 1 is 4. So the answer is 46.3. Now we have to add 14.2 to this one. 2 plus 3 is 5. 4 plus 6 is 10. 1 carried over. 1 plus 4 is 5, plus 1 is 6. Now we have to add 13.9 to 60.5. So 60.5 plus 13.9. 5 plus 9 is 14. 1 carried over. 1 plus 3 is 4. And 6 plus 1 is 7. So 74.4. Now we have to add 16 to it. So plus 16. 4 plus 0 is 4. 4 plus 6 is 10. 1 carried over. 1 plus 7 is 8, plus 1 is 9. So it's 90.4. Now we have to add 16.2. So we add 16.2 to it. 4 plus 2 is 6. 0 plus 6 is 6. And 9 plus 1 is 10. So it's 106.6. Now we are going to add 17.5 to 106.6. We say 6 plus 5 is 11. 1 and 1 carried over. 1 plus 6 is 7, plus 7 is 14. 1 carried over. 1 plus 1 is 2. And then 1. So 124.1. Now we have to add 16.3 to it. So 16.3. 1 plus 3 is 4. 6 plus 4 is 10. 1 carried over. 1 plus 2 is 3, plus 1 is 4. And 1. So it's 140.4. And the last number that we have to add is 15.6. 6 plus 4 is 10. 1 carried over. 1 plus 5 is 6. 4 plus 1 is 5. And 1 comes down. So we get 156.0. Now this total time is for 10 members. So to find the mean or average, we divide 156 by 10. So we divide 156.0 by 10. Again, we put the decimal here. We are going to divide 15 by 10. The answer is 1. 1 times 10 is 10. So we get 5. Now we move 6 down. 56 divided by 10 is 5. We get 50. So we get 56 minus 50 is 6. Now we move 0 down. 60 divided by 10 gives us 6. 6 times 10 is 60, so the remainder is 0. This means that the average time for these cross-country team members is 15.6 minutes.